Hey Titans, it is Mr. Spilker, principal here at Papillion-La Vista South High School, and I'm joined with
Mr. Jones, assistant principal here at Papillion South High School.
Happy Homecoming Week, Titans. As you can tell, me and Mr. Jones are twinning today. If you see us around the building, please make sure to compliment us. We hope you're having a good homecoming week. We're excited for the game on Friday night. We're excited for the dance on Saturday night. The dance will be outside at the football stadium, and the weather looks phenomenal. We got 75 degrees and sunny. Could not get any better than that. So we hope you have a great homecoming week. Participate in the days, go to the game, participate in all the opportunities that come along with the week. Be at the dance, enjoy it, and have some fun. At Papio South, we want to be intentional about having fun. The Titan Way this year is our theme, and the Titan Way is to love, serve, and care. And we wanted to take a minute here in Titan Time today and present to you a lesson on empathy. So when you hear the word empathy, a lot of people get empathy confused with sympathy. So sympathy involves understanding from your own perspective, whereas empathy involves putting yourself in the other person's shoes and understanding why they may have these particular feelings going on. And becoming aware of the root cause of why a person feels the way that they do, we better understand, and we can provide them support, and we can provide them healthier options for dealing with the troubles that they're going through. So one of the big things when I think about empathy is a lot of people confuse it with sympathy. And that's why the first part of our lesson today, we wanted to talk about the difference between the two. Being empathetic is putting yourself in their shoes, being there for them in difficult times, whereas sympathy is being a little bit more distant. You're just like, oh, I feel bad for that person, but you're not thinking about how you can support that individual. You're not thinking about what that person might need from you, and you're not thinking about what it's like to be in their shoes.
When you think about that, there's a quote that we're thinking about here. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. And that's when you think about what that student is going through, or what he or she is going through, or what you're going through, how that relates to empathy and sympathy. You never know what a student is going through. You know, you have to kind of look at them. You got to think about how they're interacting or reacting to individuals when they have a conversation. You just never know. Always keep that in mind as you approach students, as you approach peers, as you approach people around you, because that's important, to just be kind for everyone you meet, because everybody is fighting a hard battle.
Titans, we got a quick video here for you, and this video is just meant to create awareness to what others may be dealing with. And this is a video called Under the Surface. All right. In that video, I know a lot of people might view that video and they might think, well, geez, you know, our school's not like that. When I was a teacher here at Papillion-La South, I taught math for 10 years. And when I was a teacher, I probably would agree with you that, yeah, I mean, we don't see a lot of issues here at Papio South. You know, a lot of our students are in good positions. They don't have to deal with a lot of the struggles that some of the students in the video had to deal with. But I would tell you, after being a principal, there's so many more students than I realize that are fighting difficult battles here at Papillion-La South High School. And that's where the Titan Way comes into play. The Titan Way calls us to love, serve, and care for one another. And the video talks there at the end about how would you respond if you really knew what was going on with others. And that's what I want you to focus on today, Titans. I want you to focus on how you respond to others. If others are being negative, if others are being confrontational, if they're putting others down, you know, if you're having disagreement with others, you know, take time to pause and think about what that person might possibly be going through, and then respond in the Titan Way by loving, serving, and caring.
All right, so we want to have a little bit of discussion. I think this is important to kind of talk about this and think this through. So one of the first questions is, where do you think empathy is missing in our school, community, and society? Again, think about that. Where do you think empathy is missing in our school? You know, what happens in the hallways, what happens in the classrooms, but maybe even what happens on the field, okay? In the community, what happens in our community, in the streets, in the areas that we live in our neighborhoods, and then in society. Think about it as a whole, some of the things that are going on in the world today. Where do you think empathy is missing? Number two, do you feel empathy from your teachers, classmates, and even the principals? This is important because we want to know how you feel, how you think we think that you feel, so that we can increase our opportunity to get involved, to help with you in different areas and capacities as you grow and learn to be the best that you want to be. When we think about that, when we think about the Titan Way, that's really important. So again, do you feel empathy from your teachers, classmates, and even the principal? Number three, how could you be more empathetic towards situations that you encounter? So the things that happen to you in your life, at school, at home, around the individuals that you work with, your peers, how could you be more empathetic towards those situations that you encounter? What are some things that you can do better? What are some things that you do? How do you ask for help? When we think about the Titan Way, we need to understand it's important to love, care, and share. So think about these three questions, have a conversation, give yourself time, and work through these. And let's have a great discussion on this, because this is a powerful subject when we think about what we want and where we want to be here at Papillion South High as Titans.
So teachers, we're going to ask you to go ahead and pause the video. It might be best just to split your class into 3 groups. Have one group discuss question 1 and then share out. One group discuss question 2 and then share out. And then one group discuss question 3. Or you could have all the groups do all 3 and then share out. But take a few minutes, pause the video, discuss these questions, and then have some good group conversation. So go ahead and pause it now. All right, the last part of our lesson today is a scenario. So we're going to give you a scenario, and we want you to think, what is the best way to handle this situation as a classmate? So here is the scenario. A fellow classmate comes into the classroom and is visibly upset. The student sits down and puts their head down. The teacher asks them to put their head up, and the student responds by saying, "I had a stressful night, leave me alone." How could empathy be used in this scenario? So we want you to stay in your groups and we want you to discuss that question. How could empathy be used in this scenario? What does empathy look like as a classmate? What can it look like as a teacher? Go ahead and pause the video and have that discussion. All right, Titans, that concludes our lesson for Titan Time today on empathy. We appreciate you joining us. I want to make sure you know this guy right here. Mr. Jones is new to us this year. He's a first-year Titan. Mr. Jones' office is upstairs, so he's upstairs right across from the library. Mr. Jones works with the sophomore class, so he specifically is the grade level principal for our sophomore class. But like any member of our administrative team, whether we're talking about Ms. Prusha, we're talking about Mr. Jones, Mr. Gehring, myself, Mr. Van Acker, Mr. Peñas, we're all here to help. So if there's ever a situation that arises that you need support with, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And if you see Mr. Jones in the hallway, make sure you give him a warm, Titan welcome. He's been an outstanding addition to our building. We're lucky to have him. He loves to mentor students. He loves to support. He fits in extremely well with the Titan way. So have a great day, Titans. Love, serve, care, make a positive impact on others.